So it's safe to say that Aston Martin are not the same team they were a couple years ago, both literally and figuratively. In 2019-2020, they were on the rise, especially 2020, with Sergio Perez coming home with a victory and secure. Yes, with a lot of luck, but the pink Mercedes, Racing Point, my bad, was an incredible car. And while in 2021, it was still decent up there in the midfield, taking 2 podiums thanks to Sebastian Vettel in Baku in Hungary. The AMR 22 is, well, disappointing to say the least. But that's why we are here. We are here for the Aston Martin Road to Glory series in F1 22. Oftentimes I've seen Haas Road to Glory and Williams Road to Glory, but I thought it would be interesting to bring back Aston Martin to the podium and maybe even to the top step. We have a long way to go as we are the second worst car on the grid, let me mention. But we're going to ignore that. Let's crack on with this very special series. Now before I crack onto this, look at the bottom left. It says Team Expectations. Push for podiums. What? That doesn't make any bit of sense whatsoever. I mean, the other teams, as I'm looking here, McLaren, BWT Alpine, AlphaTauri, Haas, even Williams, they make a bit more realistic expectations. But Aston Martin, pushing for podiums in the second worst car on the grid? What are they thinking? But anyways, as you may have seen there, we just chose Sebastian Vettel as our teammate. Obviously, the Spinata master, but actually, he hasn't spinned that much. At least I hope in this series he won't spin too much. But anyways, as you can see, we are waiting through the loading screens and getting ready to activate this career mode. And look at that. I was going to say that was a great livery, but it was covered by a cover. Anyways, Mike Crack says, welcome to the team. Thanks for giving me an email. And this guy just gives me an but it's obviously such a nice livery. Look at that. Sebastian Vettel. And look at us. So glorious in all our glory. Look at this. Just
your base salary in
absolutely
is cash.
I mean, you can't get a better lineup than this. Us, Joey Gallagher, yes, from the F122 My Team series, and Sebastian Vettel. You can't get any of that. But anyways, coming into this race, we have 1,200 resource points to spend, so we're going to spend it on some upgrades here. And I'm looking at the aerodynamics and chassis here. They will come in just in time then for the Bahrain Grand Prix. I'm not going to look at powertrain here. We're pretty decent at that, but we suck at aerodynamics. So we're going to focus on, I think, front downforce here. We're not going to go for rear downforce just yet. We'll maybe have to wait for the rear downforce maybe for the next episode, because the front is going to be very reluctant to turn in. I have driven this car a little bit in Grand Prix mode, and it was very reluctant. But as you can see, we have some decent aero actually and chassis spec for the facilities. I think powertrain's still stuck at 1, but hopefully in the near future it will go up to spec 2, which will help us in our progress to get up higher. As you can see, we got 350 resource points there. Still not enough to get another upgrade, so we are going to wait on that. But now once we go to March 14th, we should have enough for another upgrade here, and we go for the Venturi tunnels. Now we have a bit of a dilemma here. Do we want to rush it, or do we want to make it standard and come in time for the Australian Grand Prix? And actually, I decided to rush the upgrade because we're definitely going to need that then for Saudi Arabia. I know it's a 45% fair chance, but we have to risk it. We need that upgrade as quickly as you can to get up to the top. You get another message there. As Mike Crack says, we will be towards the back of the pack.
Yeah, no Sherlock.
Dude, I'm not that stupid. Obviously, I've seen the Aston Martin. Anyways, we are going to the car review, but no need for the car review, because here we go. Don't mind that black screen. It was just trying to process the immense teleportation. And look at that. We have gotten both the chassis and the aerodynamic upgrades, which is perfect for us. Now we gotta wait on the aerodynamic upgrade, and now we have to unlock some more upgrades in the chassis. We aren't gonna spend them just yet, but now we are ready then for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Now let's check if we haven't made any progress. We're literally in the same position. This is gonna be painful.
Hello folks, and welcome to Paddock Pass, your pre-race edition for this, the inaugural round of the 2022 Formula One World Championship. And I've got to say, it feels great to be back. As is tradition, there is something of an air of a first day back at school on arrival here. But it's more than that, because the new era of Formula One has arrived. And with it, the eagerly anticipated new car regulations, which have been designed to help promote better racing. With clean sculpted lines, swooping rear and front wings, which should allow cars to follow each other more closely, new eye-catching 18-inch low-profile tyres, the return of ground effect, and a reduction of aerodynamic physical adornments, the new cars look strikingly different, all while improving safety and pushing the limit of technical ingenuity. So then, which teams have interpreted the rules most effectively, and which drivers will adapt to their new car the quickest, leading the charge against the rest of the pack? Only time will tell. As always, we can't wait for this season to begin. But for now, from us, that's your
Alright, here we are for qualifying then. Actually, for this Road to Glory series, it will be a one-shot quali then for this race. And I like that they have put 4 sets of tires, because one-shot quali, we obviously need 4 sets of tires just to complete 1 lap. Anyways, we are loading up the Bahrain setup then for the Bahrain Grand Prix. So it's going to be a one-shot quali and a 25% race, just as a heads up. But anyways, let's get on with our hot lap here, coming out of the last corner then, and down towards the main straight. Here we go, starting our lap. We are starting P8 technically, as we make our way down then towards the first corner here, braking just before the 100-meter board. Actually, we will probably brake a little later as we take a little too much curve there for my liking, not getting the greatest of actions, as you can clearly see here. Just reluctant to get on the throttle, and, well, I mean, we're in last place. There's nothing much you can really do about that in the car. That's really, really bad. We got to see if we can make it up in the next sector here, locking up the tire a little bit there as we head now into the heart of sectors 1 and 2 here. And we are way off the pace, 6/10 off the pace, nearly 7/10 there. We got a decent run through here. Let's see if we can make up a couple positions here. We may not be the best car in quality, but we can definitely make up some time. And there's to get a massive snap oversteer there. But you can see with the P19 here, I mean, it's not really that great of a position, but hey, it's something after having that terrible turn one. You can see another snap of oversteer there as we now fall back to P20 here. Aston Martin is not very good in 1 lap pace. I'm hoping it will be better in the race, which probably will not, to be honest, but we can have faith in Aston Martin. Coming through the right-hander here and towards the end of sector 2 and start of sector 3, we are 1.5 seconds off the pace, and the glitchy recording ain't really helping matters here as we now come our way down the next straight here towards the final corner. We are P19 at the moment. Let's see if we can make up any time in the last couple corners. Down to 30, we missed that apex completely though, but actually get a decent enough run that put ourselves up to P17 here. Will we lose position as we head towards the line, across the line, and I think we will stay just in P17. We messed up that lap pretty heavily, I must say. We could have had a much better result, but actually I don't even know where our teammate is. Maybe I should have set such high.
And with qualifying
as we
complete,
look
let's review
in
our top 3.
the qualifying, we have Claire obviously fastest. But look at us, we're actually not that far off Sebastian Vettel. He's only 16th, we're 17th. So actually maybe it wasn't that terrible of a lap, although there was a couple mistakes that we could probably have been, let's say, P13, P14, as the midfield is so tightly packed. So it's not a really great qualifying. Let's see if we can turn it around in the race.
No more testing, no more practice. This is the real deal. And it's make or break here at round 1 of this year's Formula 1 World Championship. We'll be racing around 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit today. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left down into the tricky braking zone of turn 10. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position. A very happy Carlos Sainz will start second. Considering the rest of the grid we have Verstappen, Perez, Sir Lewis Hamilton and Russell, Fernando Alonso, Bottas, Ricciardo and Lando Norris, Ocon, Tsunoda, Pierre Gasly and Magnussen, Mick Schumacher, Vettel, Gallagher and Guan Yu Zhou, Albon and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. So we are here in 2022 at the start of another Formula 1 World Championship. It all begins here, the start of the next generation of Formula 1. With the end of the second turbocharged era, a new dawn begins. New regulations have been brought in to promote better racing, with the 2 big standout changes being the wheel size increase and the aerodynamics on the car itself. But will this result in us having a repeat fight for the Driver Championship? Will Mercedes retain their Constructors' title? We have lots to discuss then with Anthony Davidson, who's joined me in the commentary box for today's event.
Yeah, it's good to be back. Let's hope for some good racing today as well. We can't know at this point how competitive the teams are relative to each other, but hopefully nobody's able to run and hide. We want to see these drivers pushing to the limit all the way to the checker flag.
Right, here we go then. It is time to get this series underway. No grid penalties to help our cause here. And as you can see here, we are stuck behind our teammate Sebastian Vettel. I'm excited. In terms of strategy though, for the Bahrain Grand Prix, because it is only 14 rounds, it's going to be a one-stop though from soft to medium compound tires. It should be interesting to see where we go from this part to the end. Anyways, we are warming up the tires for one last time and getting ready to line up in our grid slot. Then we got Zhou Guanyu here inside of our car. Look, he escapes quickly. And he's doing a couple more burnouts here, getting the front tires warmed up. And I think we are getting ready to go, getting a nice purple grid slot here. And we are waiting for Zhou Guanyu, Alex Albon, Nicholas Latifi to line up on the grid. But anyways, here we go then to 5 red lights for the first episode of our Aston Martin Road to Glory series. Lights out. And we are green here in the deserts. Us up here, the decent stuff for us. Zhou Guanyu gets a good start of this. As you can see him hopping up the inside there of us. And as it comes out into towards turn 1, we find the chase way around the outside. Very similar to our F122 my team did. We go right around the outside, not one, but like 9 or 10 cars here. And looking to try to get Daniel Ricciardo in the Papaya car here. Meanwhile, behind you got Schumacher and Norris battling it out for 12th place here. As we head out towards the next one, we're going to sneak it around the outside once again as everyone gets pinched in. Can we get around the outside of Daniel Ricciardo? I think we will as we now come into the heart of second team. We have a good fight here into the S section. We give him the stage around the outside, but eventually we get the elbows and we squeeze him out so much to the point that Lando Norris gets ahead of him, as you can see here, and he is now going to be right on the back of us. As the two McLaren cars are still going side by side. Meanwhile, Sebastian Vettel is trying to make up a couple places in the background there, and he's up now into 16th place ahead of the Haas then of Kevin Magnussen. Anyways, back to this fight here between us, Lando Norris and Daniel Ricciardo. And so anyways, meanwhile up for the sharp, and he's still got the two cars leading the way. Let's see if Lando Norris will be able to make a jump here. I don't think we will. We are using a bit of ERS down the straight just to make sure that we defend from the McLaren driver. Anyways, looking up, we got Valtteri Bottas here. I don't think we'll be catching him, but as long as we stay within DRS range, we should be fine. Let's go a little wide there. Lando Norris has a little look up the inside there, but we closed the door just in time. Meanwhile, as I said, you got Charles Leclerc still leading the way, then by a second already to Carlos Sainz, Verstappen, Perez, Hamilton, Russell, Alonso in 7th, Tsunoda 8th, Bottas 9th, and then comes us, Norris and Ricciardo. Let's see if Norris will have a good run out here, but we are using the ERS to our advantage, and I think we have just enough pace in the Aston Martin just to stay ahead. Meanwhile, you got Schumacher, Ocon, Gasly, Vettel, Magnussen, Albon, Latifi, and Zhou Guanyu coming in for a pit stop for a front wing change. So, tough day then for the Chinese driver in his debut. But Vettel, though, he's in 16th place. He needs to pick up the pace a little bit, as Lando Norris almost has a little look at it. We are very weak out of turn 2 there, as the AS seem to get a very good exit here. But we have held Lando Norris so much up to the point that we have Daniel Ricciardo already well on the back of us. Lando Norris has a bit of the rear end stepping out there, lighting up the rear tires as he tries to apply the power as quickly as he can. We're 1.2 seconds out of Valtteri Bottas, so we need to get within DRS range, which is 1 second here. Meanwhile, you got Mick Schumacher watching this fight all along. He's going to try to make his way through. And it's back up to this fight here. There is us there, and there is Lando Norris here. As it comes into the left-hander here, we are still holding on. But Lando Norris goes very wide there. Must have caught up on the outside curve. That outside curve is very deadly there. Anyways, as we now head down the back straight here, will Ricciardo have a move? He's going to the outside there, but I think he got held up so much by Lando Norris that Mick Schumacher is going to try to make this go right around the outside, and he will. Great move there by the youngster, and Daniel Ricciardo will have to fall and settle down for P13 here. Mick Schumacher with a fantastic and opportunistic move right there as he tried to make his way up the order, then he will now go chase after Lando Norris here. Lap 3, though, we got a DRS train forming as Lando Norris we have broken away actually from Lando Norris. Let's see if Ocon can make a move there on Daniel Ricciardo. He actually goes down the inside there of Mick Schumacher, a very audacious move there. Turns defense into attack, and he actually gets the move done right around the outside. A brilliant move there by the Australian, but Mick Schumacher will try to fight this back here. Ferrari power versus Mercedes power into the right-hander. Then I think Ricciardo will have the better racing as he takes it right around the outside here. Schumacher will fight this as best as he can, but he left the slam behind. No, they'll still go side by side into the right-hander and the left-hander here. But Daniel Ricciardo just has a better racing line here, but they've already fallen quite a far way back from Lando Norris as he is in a ward of his own. And meanwhile, for us, we've actually been sticking very well to Valtteri Bottas in the DRS here. No worries for us at the moment here, and we have actually been keeping Lando Norris at bay. As you can see, Aston Martin walks up there a little bit, but it won't affect him too much here. So we just gotta settle to a nice rhythm here, and we could be looking at a potential point here for Aston Martin in our first episode. Lap 5 here, and we have still been chilling in Bottas' DRS, but Lando Norris has picked up the pace quite substantially here, as he is now within a second and within DRS range. I'm not sure if he crossed the detection point within a second, but anyways, we're now falling a little way behind us. He's not get the greatest exit here, but we are coming up on the pit window. The pit window is lap 6 then, and we will be going on to a fresh set of medium compounded tires here. We're going to try to stay with Valtteri Bottas for just one more lap here, and then we shall let him go if needed. So anyways, coming out of the right-hander here, we are now going to see how we're going to do down the next straight. Into the right-hander we go, and then starting the next lap, lap 6. We have actually caught up pretty well, I must say, here, but I don't think we crossed the time. Yeah, we haven't crossed the time. As we now make our way down the main straight towards lap 6 then, and we will try to push as hard as we possibly can here. And looking into the first corner here, we are taking our time here. Try not to ruin this push lap here. We want to push as good as we can, and I've actually found a decent way to get out of turn 2 pretty fast. I'm trying to short shift up to 5th gear here, apply the power as quick as I can, and get a good run out of there. To get a challenger complete there, which is nice for us because we need that. Anyways, now coming into the left-hander here, we are still trying to push as hard as we can on this in-lap here. We have broken away from Lando Norris a little bit. He's 1.2 seconds away. As Tsunoda is still holding up Valtteri Bottas. I'm a little surprised at this because the AlphaTauri is considerably slower, at least on paper, compared to the Alfa Romeo. And under the hands of Valtteri Bottas, it should be pretty quick here as we do get DRS here down this straight thanks to some decent driving in that first sector here. But we are watching behind on Lando Norris just to make sure that he doesn't pressurize us too much and we don't make a mistake. You're coming into the left-hander here towards the right-hander. We're still pushing each other. Just the red sector, although unfortunately we don't have a lot of ERs to play around with. I have noticed in the Aston Martin here. It's another red sector. Although I don't think we're too far off our best lap here, as we're still finding some good pace here. I don't know if Vettel's going to be putting this lap. I hope he will. Even though it won't really matter that much, as we're actually pretty far behind him. And we'll see how we do. But if these two are going to stay out, we're going to stay out as well. We worry that the undercut is not as powerful, but Bottas is coming into the pit, so we are going to follow him into the pits as well. Put the limiter on, and into the pits we must go. Norris follows us in as well. Anyways, coming into our turning spot should be right about now. As we get a nice optimal turning here. Soft tires off, medium tires on, and we are good to go. And away we go then. I think a couple of others have stopped as well if we look in the replays right here. And yes, this is a replay right now. You can see Charles Leclerc, the leader, coming into the stop, and behind you can see Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton making the stop as well. By the way, this is a replay, so there comes Fernando Alonso, Bottas, and then us in the background as well. And obviously, Lando Norris followed us in as well. There is Fernando getting on a new set of boots as well, and here come the others in as well. Me and Bottas getting in perfect synchronization there, as I just realized as we watched the replay. And I think that's it for the pit stops. And as we look back up to the top of the order, Carlos Sainz has stayed out from everyone, and Sergio Perez is following him pretty close by. Then comes George Russell. Yuki Tsunoda has stayed out an extra lap, as you saw earlier. Daniel Ricciardo has stayed out an extra lap. Mick Schumacher as well. Vettel, Ocon have stayed out as well. I think Latifi has stayed out as well, as he is stuck in between the two championship rivals. So let's see if this overcut will help either close the gap to the others, or even see if we can overtake them. Because like I said, the overcut in this game is actually a lot more powerful than it is in the other games. Probably because the tires take so long to warm up, and we have been struggling, as you can see, you're falling way behind Valtteri Bottas. Already 2 seconds here, and already falling foul to the likes of Lando Norris here. As you can see, Max Verstappen is getting held up behind Nicholas Latifi, of course. The GOAT of F1, obviously, you can't deny. But anyways, let's look back at the top here as Carlos Sainz leads Sergio Perez down the mid-straight, and I'm assuming both of them will be coming into the pit lane. Yes, they go. There they go. Carlos Sainz in first, then comes Sergio Perez second. I'm assuming Russell will follow suit as well, and Yuki Tsunoda, Daniel Ricciardo, Mick Schumacher, Esteban Ocon, our teammate Sebastian Vettel. As you can see in the ladder, me and Norris are having a bit of a scrap here as we go side by side into the right-handed here. Not the best camera angle. We don't have any onboard footage of us, unfortunately, as you can see just momentarily there. that Max Verstappen was trying to overtake because of TP. We are going to let Norris by before the detection zone and see if we can get a good run down this main straight. Ricciardo is into the pits. Remember, he was our rival. Ricciardo and Schumacher both into the pits. Use the DRS, use the overtake. Going to fly by him as we start lap number 8 then of this Bahrain Grand Prix. Here we go, then down the main straight. Where's Ricciardo? There he is. We're going to go sail right around the outside of him. And we still don't make the corner, but we just barely hang on though. But I would like to point out that Ricciardo, he's on the hard compounded tires. Everyone else is on mediums. I think Latifi is also on hards as well. I may have noticed on the top left of the screen here. But I'm very interested to see, as you can see, a fight between two Frenchmen here, Esteban Ocon and Pierre Gasly. Remember, Ocon just came into the pits, so he's on fresher but colder medium compounded tires. Gasly, I think he pitted the lap, the same lap as us, as these two are still going side by side. Down the left-hander they go. Ocon has to let go. Gets a little bit of a snap of oversteer there. But I do want to talk about Daniel Ricciardo. He's on hard compounded tires, which again doesn't make sense. It's only an 8-lap stint to the end of the race. I get in 25% races, the tire wear is probably just a little more aggressive, just because, well, it's a lot less than, let's say, 100% or 50% race. And also, just ahead here, Sergio Perez, he's overcut Max Verstappen, I think, and he's on hard compounded tires as well. So, I mean, I get the idea that they are on the hard compounded tires, as we confirmed that Alex Albon that's on the hard compounded tires. I think actually both Williams are on the hard compounded tires here. Verstappen will be looking to try to get past Sergio Perez as quickly as he can. No team orders at Red Bull here, as they're going to go side by side into the right-hander here, into the first corner here, almost at a left-hander. They make a bit of contact, and hopefully there won't be too much damage from Verstappen. Verstappen has the inside line, but Perez pinches him, and he gets the better run out of that corner here. But meanwhile, back to this fight here between Norris and Daniel Ricciardo here, as they are trying to squabble for 11th place. Probably too much though, to be honest, as they're A, losing time to us, and B, it's just not futile. They should let Norris get past Ricciardo, as now Mick Schumacher is getting into the act as well. Ricciardo not doing the greatest job of defending his team. They're going to go 3 wide into the right-hander here. I think that's Ricciardo on the outside. No, Ricciardo's on the inside. He gets ahead. Look at Gasly getting a great view here from the rest of them, as Norris and Schumacher go side by side through the S section here. That's going to allow Ricciardo to get away here. Take a bit of a breather, bit of a lock up there for Mick Schumacher as he tries to get the car slowed down here. And they are still squabbling side by side here, as Ricciardo now tries to pull away. They're already second ahead. Let's see if Schumacher will try to stick with him. Gets a bit of a step of oversteer, as you may have seen there. But he still gets actually a decent drive out. He must have pinched Lando Norris there, as they now make their way down this straight here. And Schumacher will try to gain on Daniel Ricciardo here. Meanwhile, Vettel has lost the position to Kevin Magnussen. He's down to 17th place. So not a good race for them. As you can see on the top left there, Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen swapping places here. And look at this. They've been squabbling so much that the Mercedes guys, both Lewis Hamilton and George Russell, have now arrived on the scene and are ready to pick up the pieces when they trip over each other. Verstappen tries to do the same thing right around the outside. A bit of contact yet again here. Verstappen's going to get pinched on the inside, I'm assuming. And Perez has the better run now. Hamilton's pretty close to Verstappen, but I don't think he'll go for it, as Verstappen now pulls to the inside here for this right-hander towards turn 4 here. Will he make a run through? Will he have the better drive out of this corner? He's going to squeeze Perez for all his worth, but still Perez manages to fight him off. And it's actually a really, really nice battle between the two Red Bulls, but they're holding each other up. Perez is already 6 seconds behind the likes of Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc. And it's odd that Red Bull, or at least for Sergio Perez, have put in on the hard compounded tires. It's a very slow compound, and I get that if it says it's a 50% race here, but it's not a 50% race. It's an 8-lap stint to the end of the race. Surely the mediums could be able to do that. But I'm hoping Max Verstappen can get, actually I'm saying Max Verstappen should be hoping to get past as soon as possible. We're hoping for points here. We're not hoping for 3rd place, we're hoping to get some points here. But we are looking pretty fine here, as obviously Daniel Ricciardo is on the hard compounded tires. Now these hard compounded tire runners may come to life towards the end of the Grand Prix, who knows? But for now, the mediums are so much faster than the hards, and Perez needs to get out of the way ASAP here. Into the final 2 quarters they go. Verstappen had a good run here, a bit of a wobble there as he tries to apply the power as quickly as he can. Down the straight they go. Verstappen on the charge here, trying to get past his teammate Sergio Perez. but it's not working. Perez actually had a decent run out of that right-hander, and Verstappen remains then in P4. And while this is all happening here, we are seeing a great battle here between Daniel Ricciardo and Mick Schumacher forming SC. Now head their way down towards turn 1 here. Schumacher on the inside, Ricciardo on the outside. Remember, on the hard compounded tires, and he squeezes him out and takes away P11. Then Schumacher will try to get us as quick as he can. And Ricciardo had got a really bad exit out of there. Norris will try to fight his way then up into P12, and this is a great aerial shot then from the helicopters as we see the two papaya cars go side by side into the first sector, and into the second sector they go side by side. Will Norris have the grip and the confidence to get the elbows out? No, he won't. Let's ride on board then with Pierre Gasly here as he gets a great view with these two papaya cars squabbling. But I don't think he'll be too happy with that, as he will want to try to break from this pack as quickly as he can and get some points here. As already you can see, Mick Schumacher is flyaway, and Ricciardo gets a huge snap of oversteer as he bottoms out on the curb there. Norris gets the elbows out then on the Australian, moves up into P12, but that was a bit dirty. That was a bit controversial, as now Ocon is going to try to get past Gasly as they all got held up in that train. Ocon right on the outside. Can he make this move though? Yes, he can. A brilliant move there by the Frenchman as the two Frenchmen swap places there. But now looking up ahead at the road, it doesn't seem too good for everyone here as they are just squabbling over each other. Schumacher's 3 seconds. Norris has fallen out of DRS range. Ricciardo has fallen out of DRS range as well. I'm hoping for a bit more squabbling here at the same time. I want them to squabble with Mick Schumacher, so obviously we can have some breathing room here coming into the next lap here. Lap 12 there, riding on board then with Esteban Ocon as they now make their way down towards turn 1 here. Will anyone make a move as we look behind to see Joe Guan Yu get past Alexander Albon? But no moves done just yet, so let's get moving on then. End of lap 12 there, and you can see Max Verstappen is getting very impatient. They have pulled away a little bit from the silver arrows, but now they will soon be right back in this fight here as Verstappen trying to make it up the inside. But now he has a much better run than he did a couple laps ago, and he will be trying to make his way through Paris, giving him a good squeeze here as they now head our way down towards turn 1 here. I'm surprised that there have been no team orders then from Red Bull. Verstappen on the inside, turns to the outside, which is probably the better racing line through here as he gets a much better run, pinches Sergio Perez, and he gets a good run as now Verstappen is free. But I think the damage is done as the Ferraris have absolutely run away with this race. On to the last stop we go, riding on board then with Esteban Ocon as he is catching Daniel Ricciardo at a rate of not. Ocon's going to dive down the inside here. The Alpine trying to get past the McLaren here as into the left-hander they go, then up turn 2, getting a good view then from Pierre Gasly, who's running a very lowly race there in P15. Ocon though gets another bite of the cherry here as he goes down the inside here on Daniel Ricciardo. The Australian will try to fight this as best as he can here, but I think Ocon will just manage to squeeze through here. But Ricciardo's giving a good fight here, giving a good run for his money. Remember though, on the hard compound of tires, and he eventually does get squeezed out. But anyways, looking at the top, Leclerc has dominated from start to finish here at the Bahrain International Circuit. It's going to be similar to real life, except Red Bull will actually finish 3-4 here. But anyways, across the line then comes Charles Leclerc. He wins the Bahrain Grand Prix. A good result for the Scuderia Ferraris. They complete a 1-2 with Sainz 3 seconds behind. Verstappen comes third. Perez comes fourth. Hamilton and Russell go 5 and 6. Alonso 7th. Tsunoda 8th. Bottas finishes in 9th place. But we don't care about that. We care about our race. And out of the last corner we come. We're going to finish here in P10 from 17th on the grid to 10th at the finish. We claim our first point as an Aston Martin driver. A good job from us. This is the headline, not Charles Leclerc winning. This is what we should all be talking about. Us coming from 17th to 10th, and driver of the day, rightly so. What a race.
A fantastic team effort then to secure victory here in the desert. So, Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
I really feel the track layout combined with the track temperatures we saw today suited their car. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, and the driver did a great job managing that as well. They just look so comfortable out there. It's like anything, it always looks so easy when it all just clicks.
Ferrari are at it again. An excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there.
Congratulations then to Charles Leclerc for winning the Bahrain Grand Prix. But be aware, guys, we will be up there very, very soon. So enjoy the moments while you can. But Leclerc dominated them from start to finish. It was a very spectacular drive then from the Monegasque driver there. And Verstappen, I mean, he probably could have been P2 if he didn't held up there by Sergio Perez. Pretty awful of Sergio Perez to do that kind of stuff, to be honest. But what can you do? I mean, F1 22, yes, it has been very realistic at times, but at times there are no realistic things. Anyways, we did complete a challenge there, and we actually get a nice delivery here, thanks to
Let's see
our
what effect this result
race
has had
here.
on the
As you can
driver's
see, you're
standings.
finishing P10.
So,
A
Anthony
very good
Davidson,
job there
who
from
would
the
you
Aston
rank
Martin
as
team.
your
Unfortunately,
driver
Vettel
today?
I
only
have to give it
finished
to Gallagher.
P17.
They pushed and pushed
Hopefully
and found
soon
some
they'll at least
fantastic
get up there. I mean, dude,
performance.
the guy's
Just a
like
pleasure to
90
watch.
rated.
It's
He
time to
needs to
see
be
how
up
things
there
are shaping
for
up in the
us.
Constructors'
Otherwise, what's the
Championship?
point of this Road to
Ferrari
Glory
take the
thing?
lead at the top
It's
of the
only
table.
a one-man
Been
show.
an absolutely
But
wild weekend
it doesn't
in Formula
matter.
One
It's
action.
still a point for us
Can't wait
regardless,
to see
and
what's
I will
next.
take it any way we achieve it. But anyways, that is it then for the Bahrain Grand Prix episode. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, definitely be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Hope you guys enjoy this new series. And stay tuned then for the next episode of Saudi Arabia for episode 2 of the Aston Martin Road to Glory series. Goodbye, everyone.